Hello, good morning and welcome back to Argyle Breakfast. We are very happy to have you with us. 11 days it's been since we last played a game of football. A nice gap. Argyle are back playing football again this afternoon, and it's a huge day in prospect, so we have to keep our fingers crossed things go our way later on this afternoon. As you'll know, it's been a bit of a disappointing start to the season so far, with busy and crucial winter months coming up as well. There's no time like the present to turn things around, so who better to go up against than Port Vale later on, our opposition this lunchtime. We're on air for just an hour today, of course, because it is that 12:30 early kickoff, but don't worry, because we've still got loads to pack in over the next 60 minutes here on the Argyle Breakfast Show to get you in the mood for an afternoon of football. So let's have a look at what we've got for you. What you've all been waiting for. We'll be hearing from the new Director of Football, Derek Adams, who's back here at Argyle after a 6-year absence. And with Argyle women in FA Cup action tomorrow, we'll be joined in the studio by their assistant manager, Matt Green. So plenty to keep us going as we count down to kick-off at 12:30 this afternoon, don't forget. And I'm pleased to say, joining me in the studio, as always, Mr. Argyle Analysis himself, Aaron Cusack.
Good morning, Aaron. How are you?
I'm very good.
Good.
You have colour coordinated.
I've blended in today, and so have you.
Perfectly.
Yes, we've blended in. Yes, we got the memo.
Goes a little bit with the lights.
Yeah, we got the memo, so we've blended in. We're all green today because we want to give the boys support and try and get those massive 3 points.
Yeah. Do you think the break will have helped Argyle going into this afternoon's game?
I think so. I mean, we always talk about whether breaks are good or bad. The break, I think, was needed to allow players to get back on the training ground, just to reset, to have time on the training ground, Erin, to kind of build, a strategy ready for today, and just release a bit of pressure. Obviously, that everyone knows the immensity of the pressure that's everyone's under at the minute. So just a deep breath, and hopefully they can go up with a calm, poised focus and try and get something from today's game. Yeah, well, again, as it always seems to be the case when we have an Argyle Breakfast Show, lots of change, lots of things to get through. It means for us, at least, we've got an exciting breakfast show this morning. The Derek Adams interview in particular is going to be a good one, bringing him back into the fold of the club. What did you make of that appointment? Well, I mean, the thing is, he's got history with the club, isn't he? He knows how the club operates. He knows the people behind the scenes. He knows what to expect in terms of the demographics. And I think he'll bring those conversations that perhaps Tom Cleverley, being a young coach, irrelevant of the level he played as a footballer, but as a manager or a head coach, still won't have developed the craft yet that perhaps Derek Adams will have had from his experience. The conversations outside of the X's and the O's of the training ground, the ways in which you can interact with people based on how they're feeling, the outcomes of recent performances. So, and I think he'll challenge Tom as well in a healthy way. And I think it's important to be challenged because it encourages the opportunity to grow collectively. Well, it's another away game this afternoon, another one. But next week, we're back at Home Park, and I think that's something that everyone's been crying out for. It's been an interesting run of games, I think is fair to say. And as Christmas approaches in the winter season, again, as we mentioned at the top of the show, we're going to be in for quite an interesting time as well, I think. Yeah, I mean, we're a third of the way through the season now, so it's very important that they take stock of where they are. The league table doesn't lie, unfortunately. No. We are where we are, so therefore they've got to rally together and push on. I mean, we want to be back at Home Park, I get it. They want the Green Army behind the players, but they've also got to have a mindset ready to go away from home as well. Yeah. It's unusual to have so many away games on the spin, but they've had to deal with it, and today, hopefully, they can use today as a platform to get something from the game, a win or a draw, I think, ready to go next week. Yeah, loads of away games, loads of international breaks as well. I'm surprised me and Aaron remembered to turn up today, which does remind me, just to mark your card as well, we'll also have the latest attempt of Get the Badge in just before we come off air at 11, so do stay tuned for that. For now though, while Argyle men may be having a bit of a struggle at the moment, the women's team are having a great season so far, and it's all been documented on an Access All Areas documentary, Making Waves. You might have heard of it. It's the second episode that will be hitting your screens next week, and in just a second we'll be joined by their assistant head coach Matt Green. But first, let's get a little taste of what's in store for episode 2.
Heartbroken for her, and just Everybody did anything they could to get around her and show her we were going to support her the whole way through.
This desire, this hunger to achieve our goals. And if it's not just for themselves, it's definitely for Lulu.
When they are completely aligned with each other, what they can achieve.
Come on, 2-0 against
Come on,
Come on, the Janners!
Up the Janners!
Man down!
So every single week, who's going to step forward and who's going to lead? Okay, so the leaders in the middle of the pitch today. Step forward, take control of the game.
An exciting game where I think it'll be a real good exhibition of what the National League, Women's National League is.
They've definitely had the upper hand. We obviously look to change that if we can.
Playing the game in a completely different mindset and yeah, going there to get a win rather than to go for a scrap.
Exciting stuff. And the next episode of Making Waves will be out Tuesday 6 p.m. on YouTube and our website. And now joining us in the studio, star of Making Waves and star of, you know, Argyle women's success so far as well this season, a key contributor, Matt Green. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
I mean, it's been pretty good going for Argyle ladies this season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a good start, but like most things in football, we can't get too carried away because you never know what's around the corner. But we'll take the start we've had.
Yeah. Well, let's touch on the documentary first before we get into the ins and outs of how the actual season's been going. What's it been like having cameras coming along and following the progress of the women's team?
Yeah, interesting. It took a little bit of time to get used to it.
Yeah.
Not being one that's had cameras sort of around them before. Yeah, it took a little bit of time, but the girls have embraced it, staff have embraced it as well, and I've got to say it's been put together really, really well by the club. So yeah, it's a really good documentary.
So what's the setup like then? Are the cameras coming along to training sessions, matches, and then when do you fit in? We saw you getting interviewed there. When does that all take place?
When I'm told. But yeah, so the cameras obviously are around quite a lot at the training sessions, come to away games with us as well. Obviously home games is a lot easier, but yeah, they tend to appear. We don't always know when they're appearing, which is part of the fun of it. But yeah, it's good. It's great exposure for us, great exposure for the players, and gives, I think, the fans a real good insight into obviously, you know, what happens on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis.
Do you think it's been helping with raising the profile of the women's team? Because Aaron and I, we've spoken about this season, previous seasons. It really does feel like that's ramped up a bit in the last season or so. I mean, I think the success, of course, helps, doesn't it? But actually raising the profile of what these women are doing for Argyle. Yeah,
and they deserve the profiles that they're all getting. There's a lot of hard work that the players obviously put into everything that goes on. So yeah, I think to give the supporters, like you say, that insight into everything that goes on, just raises the profile of the women's team. Obviously results is key as well, and like we said, that's been going really well so far this season. So yeah, the whole sort of dynamic of everything, it really does work.
I think that's really important as well. I mean, we speak quite avidly on the show about the importance of not comparing the two sides.
Yes.
You know, the men's game is different to the females' game. They're at different levels. So it's important that we embrace the women's game as their own identity for what they are and how well they're doing. So just on that, like, what's it been like for you being involved in the transition, I suppose, from what you've experienced in the last 2 or 3 years compared to where it is at this juncture?
Yeah, I think resource is a key ingredient for it. The resource that we now have is, you know, tenfold than what we've ever had before, and that massively helps in what you can do as a set of staff, etc. So resource in that front. Obviously, you know, Marie's come in with a lot of experience, a lot of contacts within the game as well. We've brought in, you know, some new players into the squad, and everyone has gelled really, really well. Contact time, as you all know from coaching, is a massive thing. You know, and we've got an increased amount of contact time that we have. So everything in that front, you know, sits really well, and that gives you that platform then, as you know, to go and try and succeed. And like I said, so far this season, yeah, it's gone really well.
You mentioned Marie there, new in this season, and we know she's someone that's got a lot of experience in the women's game, having played herself. What's it been like having someone like Marie come into the team and share the knowledge and the experience that she has?
Yeah, I think that's massive. You know, the girls obviously look up to her massively. Like you say, she's got the experience. She's won Super League titles. She's won FA Cups. She's got 24 international caps. So I think I've said before on camera that, you know, if you can't sort of get excited and learn from that type of coach, then I don't know who you would want to learn from. So, you know, she's steady, she's, you know, very calm, you know, although on the touchline she can be quite intense, as I think most people have seen. But that's her game face, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, behind the scenes, very strategic. All the detail that goes into the sessions, etc., is amazing. And from a learning curve for myself and for John, who's obviously the other first team coach, you know, that's massive for us as well. So it's, I say, it's good. It's going well.
We've done too much chatting today, so we've got just enough time to get the badge in for you. I'm sure you know the rules. Very simple. You've got just enough time to name as many of the badges you can from the cropped version of them. So it's the turn of Caleb Roberts today. Let's see how he got on.
Right, Caleb, you've got 1 minute.
And let's just get the badge in.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Sins.
You can pass.
Is it football teams?
Yeah.
Pass. Doncaster. Brighton. Swindon. Bristol City. Sheffield United. Fleetwood. Coventry. Cheltenham. Hull. MK Dons. Ipswich. Charlton. Cardiff. Hull. Stevenage. Huddersfield. Stockport. Portsmouth. Pass. Sheffield Wednesday. Sutton. Bolton. Nottingham Forest. Palace. Wolves. Pass. Villa. Derby.
I'll give you Derby. Time up. Oh, it's quite good. 23.
Is that alright?
Not bad.
23.
23.
But there was a bit of a Stockport deliberation there.
I was there.
We'll have to look into it.
I was more concerned with the fact that he went, is it football teams at the start?
Once he figured out it
yeah,
was
he was
football
alright
teams,
initially.
Smashed it.
Yeah, I thought he was
Premier
good.
League, down to League 2, Caleb.